gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Strawhat Sitdown crew in the building. We promote to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin'. Every time an episode is dropping, we see D3 in the corner. Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut. Always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's YHuss, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, mad the captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We.
What's good, y'all? It is your boy, Mr. G, back at it with another episode of Strawhat Sitdown. We on what, 67? I want to say, right, Callie?
67.
67. Let's go.
God. Damn.
So I know I don't usually do the intros. Usually Callie, and no one's missing. We have the full crew here. We got Callie Mac, we got Strawhat Mod, we got D3 King, and YHuss, and myself. But today is a special day because we have a special guest. Before I introduce my boy, I would like to just say a few things. My boy was in the military for 10 years. He started his own YouTube channel to document his attempt at building a wearable Iron Man suit and has over 900,000 subscribers currently and only going up, as well as 2 million followers on TikTok, over 40,000 on Instagram, and only going up. He started a channel, turned it into a community for creative nerds. He creates countless props, replicas from various movies, games, shows, animes, and has made 2 wearable Iron Man suits. And fun fact, his wife was roommates with my wife and told me to date my wife when we were in college. Wow. So I got to thank y'all for that. Please give a warm welcome to my boy, Frank from Frankly Built, bro. Thank you for joining us, bro.
Can I get the script to that intro so I can use that for other things? That was a good one.
I'm kind of jealous, bro, because I ain't never get an introduction like that. That's crazy, bro. That was good.
I got you. You gotta thank your wife, bro. She sent me. I asked her for some accolades, and she sent it to me. So
I'm sitting here like, I did all that.
In fact, he did also live 4 years in Japan as well. So
that's lit.
Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Just before we continue, we're gonna do a little rundown. We're gonna ask Frank a few questions. One Piece enthusiast, and then you're gonna ask us any questions, and then after that, we're gonna do a rundown on the chapter, and then let it go from there. So I'm gonna send it over. First question, I believe, is Callie. Callie, go ahead. The cat.
Alrighty, Mr. Frank, my good sir. As a One Piece enthusiast, I have to start off with probably the biggest question that will determine a big portion of my opinion of you for the rest of this episode. All right, no pressure though. No pressure. All right, who is your favorite Straw Hat?
Are we including Luffy?
If you want.
I gotta go with Zoro.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
I feel big body. Yeah.
You good. All right, you passed the vibe check.
I gotta go with Zoro. He just, the loyalty he's shown. I mean, oh man. Yeah.
That's definitely fair. Zoro is definitely a GOAT. All right, Mod, if you want to go ahead and kick it off with your question, man.
Sure. Now, I'm not going to be as harsh, but, let me know who's your favorite non-Straw Hat.
Oh, man. I feel like that's kind of easier, probably obvious. Law.
Okay.
Let's shout out to the saddest backstory in anime.
Yeah.
It's up there.
It's
Like-
definitely up there.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. like wow, people I've heard. My wife Kayla, when we started watching this stuff, she's like, "Man, Nami's backstory is real sad," and just learning more about that. I'm like, "You just wait till you meet Law."
A little does she know, right? That's crazy.
Yo, man. Yo,
She's not ready.
Chopper got a sad backstory too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
He's up there.
yeah, he killed the guy. Oh well. But like,
Holy shit.
Yo, gangsta, I respect it.
Law watched his entire country just
That's true. That's true.
evaporate. Like, oh man.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
that's fair. That's definitely fair.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get D3's question next.
All right, man. I just got a simple question. What was the moment that got you hooked on One Piece?
Oof.
Ooh.
That's a good question.
It was actually a clip. It was actually just an online clip that I saw that made me start thinking, I really need to start watching this show. And it was just a clip of fourth gear against Dofi.
Oh wow.
That was,
Very, very real.
Yeah.
that was the first, like, I think fourth gear was like the first form. Like, yeah, I would say I knew what Luffy looked like, and he was a rubber guy because, you know, grew up with Dragon Ball Z and stuff, and he was the other guy. And yeah, I finally like just started seeing more clips floating around YouTube and just Facebook and stuff, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. And I started doing a little bit more research into some of the plot, and I'm like, I gotta start watching this. And then that was it.
And here we are, right? Like,
Here we
Yeah, I'm surprised, yo. Gear 4 too, because at first I didn't like Gear 4. You know, and I was like, I don't know, but
I think that is the one English dub voice they dropped the ball on. That
Okay.
just Gear 4, I think he sounds a little weird. I think they should have just kept his normal, like, serious voice. But yeah, I don't know. Just that watching that fight, watching him fly around and just humiliate this flamingo man. I'm like, what is happening? Who is this?
Oh, man.
And then it was the punch.
that was OD.
It
Yeah.
was when he gets spiked all the way into
Yeah, that final punch. Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it was sick.
all right, this show hits. Okay, let's and then I started watching it, and then I started seeing a little more. This was around when Luffy first got when he first walked up to Big Mom and Kaido. When that clip finally was animated and aired, what, over a year ago?
Yeah, about a year ago.
Yeah.
Around
Yeah.
yeah.
That was roughly like I was halfway through watching, and I started seeing that clip, and I'm like, that's what the animation looks like right now. What?
Yeah, he was like, you got to catch up at that point.
Yeah, I was like,
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right,
New
cool.
studio. So
Yep. All right. Let's kick it off to YHuss for the final question before we move on to the chapter.
Right. So, matter of fact, we've talked about characters, Straw Hats, non-Straw Hats, talked about moments. But let's put it all together and tell us, what's your favorite arc of all the arcs?
Ooh.
I liked Punk Hazard just because there was a lot of lore build. I know a lot of people don't like Punk Hazard.
Yeah. That's why I'm like,
I liked the story around Punk Hazard. I liked Law just really finally. He wasn't just a guy, you know, sitting in Sabaudi just watching.
yeah. Facts.
I don't know. I started to really like that, but probably my favorite one. Damn, probably Ennie's Lobby.
Real.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
respect
just some of the
that.
most iconic moments. I
Oof.
mean, between just Gear 2, the first animated fight with Lucci, which, can't wait to see the new one. I can't wait to watch this man just humiliate
Yes.
an awakened
Yeah.
devil.
And you know, I feel like we've been saying this a lot throughout the arc, but a lot of this stuff in Egghead is gonna look so sick when it gets animated, man.
Can you imagine it? Oh my god! Especially because they're gonna set the bar with the upcoming premiere of Gear 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it's like, all right, that's what Gear 5 looks like, and now we get to see an awakened Lucci
Oof.
who thinks he's hot.
Yeah.
Now, and I like that. I like that they're also acknowledging that the enemy. That very rarely do shows do that, where it's like, oh yeah, they got stronger too. They didn't just stay like No, by all means, CP0 is strong as heck, but you're fighting a god.
That's all it is. That's all it is. It's the sun god.
Baby. Oh.
Say,
Like, just
say.
imagine being in Lucci. Like, I'm gonna go back and beat the crap out of this rubber man. Wait, you can do what now?
Oh,
No,
man.
actually, Go right ahead, Mod. It's all you.
Oh, I was just gonna say, not to mention that they're gonna set the bar, because I think there was talk about an animator or a drawer for WB Warner Brothers is going to be collabing on this episode.
I've
And
heard so much back and forth about it being a myth and it just like not being real, and some people saying it is real.
yeah,
I mean, just animate them like you do the Animaniacs, and we'll be good. Call it that.
I did see that. I did see those tweets about that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That so I'm definitely excited and interested to see if what they do there.
If they did what they, even if it's only as good as Sanji and Zoro's recent episodes, sick, good. So, it doesn't need to be better than that. There it is. It's painted. But
but this is the finale though of Wano, so
this is it.
Yeah, you're gonna go crazy.
This is going to very much upset the internet because I already know how that episode's going to end. It's going to end with, right? Like I'm pretty sure the chapter ended that way, where his hair started to melt, and that
you see the smile.
43, yeah,
Smile,
43.
yeah.
I want to get that panel tattooed. I'm not gonna lie, that panel's OD. That smile.
Yep, and like we already got a little bit of his laugh in Japanese. Like it's gonna be something. Twitter's gonna melt.
Yeah, no,
it's gonna be ridiculous.
It's gonna be a spectacle. I cannot lie.
I think this kind of perfectly, segues into like our next part about just talking about how One Piece is right now. And Frank, like your thoughts on the current era of One Piece, where we're getting not just the Straw Hats, but people like Mihawk, people like Shanks, people like Sabo. Like, what are your thoughts on the current One Piece and how much the final saga has changed things?
It's moving. It's in motion. Like it's actually happening. We have animated episodes of them finally acknowledging that Luffy's devil fruit. Like when I try to get people to get into One Piece, I'm like, we're connecting dots right now that were set up in episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Like that is what other story? Like none. Be like, oh man, Game of Thrones' plot was complicated. Shut up. Like, no idea what a good story like thread is, and like everyone's on the move. Shanks is on the move. He just erased Kid. So
No, Captain Mid got it wrong. Captain
Mid.
no, not today, guys. Not today.
No, especially today.
Frank is a Luffy fan, so are you a Kid hater at the same time?
No, I like Kid. He's Luffy with no morals.
Okay, facts. That is some way to look at it. Yeah.
He's Luffy. I mean,
Walmart Magneto. Yeah.
Walmart Magneto is crazy.
I've always liked that about Kid and Law. Like you they care about their crews, especially seeing Kid's relationship with Killer and Law putting everything on like what he did for Beppo and all that. Like he just didn't get to see that, but they don't have these crews through abuse. Like they care about their crews, so it's nice to see other connections like that. How upset Kid was getting when he found out Killer had eaten the fruit and all that, and I like Kid. I like him arguing with Luffy all while they're in jail. That's just peak, comedy.
Luffy and Kid have a really, really cool dynamic together.
Yeah,
their repertoire is nice. The three of them, especially with their fight on the roof, with like when Big Mom attacks them,
and they all make the faces, and they all
like I really enjoy seeing the three of them together. So.
Somebody at my work has actually just started watching One Piece. He just got to like episode 80 or 90, and we talked about Shanks. He's like, "Oh, does he pop up? He's like, is he a reoccurring character? He pops up much?" I'm like, "You get to see him like 10 times in 1,000 episodes, and every time it's amazing."
Yep, it just keeps getting better and better every time.
Like you barely see him, but he's so it's Shanks. I mean, we finally got to see him act. His observation hockey is broken.
Facts.
So
can I ask a real quick improv question?
Yeah.
Right ahead, bro.
All right. I gotta ask this. Shanks or Mihawk?
Here we go. Oh my god.
One question though, like as they are currently in the manga, or does Shanks have his arm back?
From what we in the manga right now,
I think I have to give it to Mihawk.
Oh, okay.
Only because he saw what Mihawk could do at Marineford, and he still hasn't named a single one of his attacks. That man was just swinging his sword. That's all he was doing. He was just slashing blindly. I think he has named attacks and specials and moves, but like, and we saw what Shanks just did to Kid and his entire fleet. But
that was his. Was that the first time? Like one of his first moves we've seen?
That was the first time he attacked. That was the first time he moved.
Yeah.
And he also, I don't know, but see, Shanks is hockey because he shut down Marineford.
Yeah.
Hawks was Mihawk was the only one who like acknowledged, was like, I didn't sign up for this. Not because he was afraid of him, but like he knew that there wasn't going to be an easy battle. Mihawk probably could have taken anybody there, but Shanks.
Yeah.
Bro, I can see it in Mod's face. He's so ready to debate
Yo,
right now.
D3, you are my goat. D3, you are my goat because I was looking at the camera the whole time thinking the exact same
I can just see
thing, bro.
his face, bro. He's just like, oh, I want to say something, bro.
Yo, I'm in tears, bro.
I get it. Y'all are too much. Shut up.
Before we get to the chapter, Frank, do you have any questions for us?
Any pressing One Piece matters?
Yeah, I know. Like you were hitting me up on like what I thought, like how we got started, how about you getting here, but like the clone idea, whatever. Any questions you have?
I was gonna ask. I kind of forgot about the clone thing, but I was actually gonna ask favorite fights.
Ooh.
Your favorite fights, and if you want, specify manga or anime, because the Katakuri fight is boring as hell in the manga.
Boring in the manga?
I thought it was way better in the anime. The Katakuri versus Luffy fight.
That's interesting.
I thought it was.
They took a lot of liberties with like the donut wheel and whatever. Like I can see why
it's a spectacle. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
But then other things, no. I think just the paneling in the manga just hits better. Obviously you have to take them in different ways, but
it's like a pacing thing too.
Yeah.
Damn, I have not thought about fights. I'm not gonna lie.
My favorite fight, I could think of it off the top of my head. Maybe it might be recency bias, but Kid Law versus Big Mom, bro. That I haven't had a fight get me that amped.
We're almost there.
A minute. Yeah, I am sitting waiting patiently for that fight to get animated. I cannot lie. The problem with it is that it's sandwiched in between the Zoro shit and Luffy's Gear 5. So like I don't know how much attention and how much love it's gonna get shown, but hopefully it do it some justice.
Yeah, everybody's waiting for Luffy now. Because at the time you didn't know, but
yeah.
I gotta say,
there's so much like worry about it, but yeah, go ahead, D3.
Oh, I was gonna say, I gotta say one of my favorite fights isn't even a main fight. You call it like side fight, but it was Frankie versus Senior Pink. It's like one of my favorite.
Real as hell.
Those are the bad guys you care about, right?
Yes.
You made me give a crap about a dude in a diaper. What?
Bro,
yep.
No, dude, the second I saw Senior Pink, so my brother got me into One Piece. He was caught up by the time I got to Dressrosa. I was like, who is this ugly ass nigga in a bib? And he's like, watch your mouth. I'm like, huh? He's like, you're gonna feel real bad later. Talking about him.
Little did you know.
I pulled up to his door, like after I watched the fight, I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean disrespectful. I'm sorry.
Yo, I respect you for doing that, bro.
You guys all caught up on Demon Slayer?
No,
not yet.
Have you seen? You know who Akaza is?
Nope.
No.
It's similar ideas, though. I know what you're gonna say, but I don't want to smoke anyone on anything.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anybody on anybody else.
Especially not that.
Yeah, he's a character that like you immediately hate him when you meet him, and you're like, oh, you are trash, and I can't stand you. And it's the same. It's like, just wait till the manga gets animated, and you're all caught up, and you learn this dude's backstory. He's gonna be your favorite villain in all of anime and manga. Because
Demon Slayer does that, right? The demons always have like some type of backstory, but some of them hit like crazy.
It's true.
The toughest backstory, like not like lost sad, but like you're like, damn, this dude's cool, and I get it now. Even though he's just a maniacal, twisted demon bad guy, you're like, you're pretty cool.
For a quick answer for the favorite fight, I think a lot of recency bias, definitely. But I remember when the chapters were coming out, and on the podcast, I was talking about how Luffy was just seamlessly versus Kaido, going from Gear 2 attacks to Gear. Like he would extend his foot in Gear 3 and then kick him in Gear 2, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah,
the
I
guy's
remember-
mastery of his devil fruit
I
was crazy.
remember when you brought that up too. That was a sick moment. I
And,
can't
and,
lie.
and low-key, I feel like that was hinting that his mastery of his devil fruit was getting to a point where he could awaken. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Let me ask that question then, real quick.
Yeah, sure, man.
At what point did, and if, because I never really thought about it until it started to happen, but at what point did you think Luffy's devil fruit wasn't rubber? Like, what did at any point you start to think like, this doesn't make sense, rubber power?
Ooh, okay. So
how did his light his fist on fire? Like that type of shit, you know?
So to answer your previous question before, I would have to say the fight between Luffy and Usopp might be my favorite fight.
Ooh.
Really, for some reason, it was one of the ones that really got me, brought me back to it. And I was like, I love the way Usopp set it up. Like, you know, was fight pre-time skip. I think it was one of the best fights.
Good one.
To your question now, honestly, I think it's around Ennis Lobby is when he started going Gear 2 and Gear 3. I was like, this doesn't seem right, because I feel like he started realizing what CP9 was doing at the time, right? To speed up or whatever.
Yeah,
and he was trying to mimic that shit. And I was just like, you know, like, and then they gave us the whole explanation about he's speeding up his cells, whatever. But like, that's when I was like, okay, I guess I'll believe it. But now that we know about, you know, the Nika fruit and everything like that, I feel like that's when I started realizing that something was different about what his fruit should be.
Did you, when you guys saw Gear 4 for the first time, did you realize he was copying Bellamy, or did it take a little bit?
It's
I think
okay.
he was
Because the springs
yeah,
of his feet. That's how he's like messing around.
Yeah.
I didn't know until someone pointed out to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it took me a while. I
I
rewatched.
realized that.
He's
I'm not gonna lie until you just said it now. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
He does that. He shaved. He copied CP
Yeah.
CP9. Gear
That's
4.
actually kind of OD. I didn't even think about that. That's pretty
And
cool.
then,
Yeah,
Yeah, the more you know, for real.
kind of copying Katakuri a little bit with the reach.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
he was copying Bellamy when he
When he's like going around like that.
yeah, when he was like ricocheting off of the bridge.
Yeah.
That's when I realized he was copying Bellamy. For me, it is like favorite fight is El Flamingo versus Luffy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Are you kind of Luffy and Law versus him?
See,
That was
I
such a
thought
good
it was one. See, I thought it was 1-on-1, because if it's not 1-on-1, then my favorite fight is Roof Piece.
That's
Okay.
also pretty fair. I guess I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which fight?
Roof piece.
The worst
The two of
generation
the-
on the roof versus Big Mom and Kaido.
Oh, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, that would be my favorite overall battle. But if we're talking about specifically 1-on-1,
Yeah.
it would definitely be Luffy versus Doflamingo.
I'm so glad Frank said that was like the moment that hooked him, because I've probably quoted that speech of his versus Doflamingo, like it's the birdcage is suffocating, you know, you made my friends cry, blah blah blah. I've quoted so much because it's such a wow, Luffy was fucking cheesed. So
Yeah. Luffy was pissed, bro. Luffy, that's one of the few times Luffy's really pissed.
Because usually it's not countrywide. It's not like that level of term. I mean, now Wano it is. Wano is even more heightened than Dressrosa. It's the whole they're locked off. But I think Luffy's not as stressed as he was in Dressrosa. Like Dressrosa was tense.
Mhm.
I don't think Wano, the most tense Wano gets is before Momo catches it, with his flame clouds. Like even with the fight with Kaido, it never feels like it was
That's true.
as serious as it was with Dofi.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's true.
Yeah, that was some of the criticisms of Wano, though. Like people were saying that Wano lacked a lot of tension compared to previous arcs.
Yeah.
So, one of those
I
things.
can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we had a bunch of theories like the raid failing and stuff like that happening, because that's where supposedly the meat of the tension would have been or something, but none of that came true. So
yeah, and we got Gear 5. We got an epic Momonosuke ending, with his speech
man.
at the end. So I'm not complaining too much. And then now we're in the final saga, so One Piece is on a tear.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I'm still
100% going crazy.
complaining. I'm still
Don't be a hater.
complaining.
Don't be a hater.
We did not get Kaido's awakening, bro.
Oh,
like
man.
that
Yeah,
was
Bro,
You know I've been crying about that shit for like a year now.
We about to see, it's gonna be a whole nother discussion, brother, man. You know what? Let's segue into the actual chapter review.
Yeah.
I know YHuss said he got to bounce out a little bit early. So
I'll just say it quickly when it's probably like 6:20 around.
okay, all right.
Okay.
So let's get into the actual chapter. The Discord stream's up for everybody in the Discord. We're gonna do it as usual. I'm gonna just walk through what's going on in the chapter. Anytime anybody wants to say something, just stop. Let me know. We want to talk about etc. etc. And let's do it. Huh?
I will say, Frank, don't forget you're a guest, man. Speak up, let your mind be heard on whatever you want to talk about, bro. Don't be too conscious of us, man.
Thank you.
Word. All right, let's get into it. Chapter 1085: The Death of Nefeltari Cobra. I think this shit fucked me up last time we read too.
Yeah, because people say Nefertiti.
It's Nefertiti. I'm used to
Nefertari,
Nefertiti, and then I see Nefeltari, and I just get mixed.
I thought it was Nefertari.
Yeah, with R said that. I think it's like Japanese English things, but the Tari versus TT is like real life versus Cobra. But no,
yeah, that's fair.
Cobra.
Cute little cover story.
Yes, it was.
It was cute. I can't lie. It was cute. Yeah, let's get right into it. We start off where the last chapter ended. Cobra staring up at Emu sitting on top of the throne, saying that no one's meant to sit upon that throne, and only one that is not meant for one person who will sway. Is not meant for one person's will to sway the entire world. One person should be sitting there controlling everything. We get Emu speaking for the first time ever, which I think is huge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've never seen this, and we don't necessarily. I know there was a lot of discussion about Emu's gender. I don't know if there was any alluding to that here or during the chapter.
I will say I've heard people say that the way they talk is like engendered kind of like masculine power terms in Japanese, but apparently that's how Big Mom speaks too. So
yeah,
there's nothing really to take from it. Yeah.
Okay, a grain of salt. Okay.
Interesting.
So Emu, looking down at Cobra, says he wants to ask. He wants to say two things, and then wants to ask Cobra one thing. Cobra starts talking about Emu, about the name, but before he can finish, Emu cuts him off and says he will tell him everything. He lets Cobra know that the D is the name of those who once opposed us. And that the D are nothing but empty husks now, scattered around the world, not knowing about the meaning of their name. But the recent development, one thing that's going on now, is because of Queen Lily's great mistake 800 years ago. They then talk about the curiosity of the scholars also being a part of that mistake, which is talking about O'Hara, trying to look into the void century and whatnot. He then goes on to say, if not for Lily's mistake on that fateful day, the poneglyphs would not have been scattered across the world. I think that's a pretty huge revelation.
Yeah,
Huge.
What's going that?
Go ahead.
So that means at one point the poneglyphs were in some type of control of
By them.
Emu or whoever.
Yeah.
But because the Kozuki clan are the ones who
Created them, right?
them.
Yeah.
So, but why? This has had me reconsidering what the One Piece could even possibly be, because what could be there that somebody like Emu would have had or allowed the poneglyphs to be created that is basically a guide to the One Piece? Why? Why? We always thought the poneglyphs were made to oppose or overthrow, right? Find the One Piece and it reveals the history, but Emu apparently had access to them. They were in the same place.
Yeah.
Why? What's the point of them then?
Yeah.
I think we can kind of conclude that once the 20 Kings defeated the Ancient Kingdom, they seized whatever they had.
That's fair.
I could see something like that.
So
and then maybe Lily did her thing, which obviously she even questions if it was really a mistake, right? So
right.
This whole, just going over it today, it made me question how did they scatter it?
Yeah.
So now I'm curious. We know one person that can scatter shit, but Kuma, right, with his powers, which doesn't really make sense to me. But it also makes sense why they would want him to be under control, right, to control that. So what if Lily might have had that power originally?
Yeah, because I was gonna say, we know that people have had like devil fruits pass from generation to generation. Like once someone dies with it, so
Yeah,
it
we
makes
don't,
sense that
we don't
someone
know
could've-
what he could have possibly had.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So just an idea, because like
Yeah, that's what I think about.
because we know those things are fucking heavy as shit, right?
Facts.
Here,
So
You
the
know
fact
what?
that they
big ass
scattered
stone blocks.
everywhere, yeah, like the fact that they scattered everywhere means that it was a fucking power that was just like boop, 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 boop. Like they just touched that shit went, and then that
I
shit went
just-
scattering.
I just saw something today. What if the last poneglyph isn't even in the world yet? Meaning, who do we know who can send something into the future,
Toki.
regardless of weight and
Right.
material? What if the fourth poneglyph literally hasn't even arrived yet?
That is
That's
a
crazy.
crazy theory. I can't lie. Not
It's
like
hard,
in a
it's
bad way,
hard.
but it's just just like so crazy. That would be sick.
I'll just say
definitely be
quickly.
sick.
I think I heard the same theory guy that sadly enough, this guy's the guy. The video I always talk about. That guy's videos are I can't find on YouTube anymore. But he had a video recently, like a few months ago, where the fourth one, because if you have 3 coordinates in the world, you have like you couldn't guess where the fourth one would point.
Yeah.
So people are like, yo, so to avoid that, the fourth coordinate could be time or something like that. So I think that's a great point that
Oh,
Frank
shit.
brings up.
And like that's only the stuff we know. What's cool about a story like this, Oda can just make up any power he needs to fill the slot.
yeah,
It
yeah.
wouldn't be weird. It wouldn't be like, oh, that's just that's a Pax Machina you threw in at the end. It's like, yeah, it's called a devil fruit. You want it to be. Like,
I do think that with Oda's style, it's more than likely something that
It
has
could
already
be.
been set up, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's how he likes to do
Oh, yeah.
things. You know what I mean? But he definitely does have that. Devil fruits definitely do give him that creativity, that creative.
It's true.
ever
Yeah.
the hell you want.
It's also go right ahead, bro.
Oh no, I was just I'm still thinking about Kuma's power, because that shit doesn't make any sense, bro. Because
No,
right,
it doesn't.
isn't his power the bear, like the Kuma, right?
Paw,
Yeah.
paw,
Is it the
paw,
claw
paw,
fruit?
paw.
Paw fruit, right?
Yeah.
Well,
How the
we
fuck
don't
is-
know if he can send stuff. He sent people. Can he send stuff?
Well, I'm just saying the fact that he can even send people in general fucking a paw fruit is ridiculous. Like so,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, for some reason it's the repel fruit or some shit. It's not really the
But
paw. It is
also,
the paw.
remember
It's weird.
when you have something like Pluton being a giant ship, moving these giant bricks probably isn't
facts.
that crazy. Especially when we start seeing
Oh,
what's on
true.
Eggman. I
true,
mean,
true.
And
You're right.
whatever attacked Lucia too.
yeah, an island
Actually-
got evaporated from the sky. We have no
That-
idea what that.
now that I think about it, I mean, there's probably plenty of ways it could have moved it too. Because remember, like the giant ass robots that Jinbei and Luffy found, like they could have
There's
been
one on
used to.
Zo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right.
there's plenty of
There's
ways
three
it
on
could have been.
Zo.
That's true.
Another thing that reminds me of is what I was gonna say was that I think because before Imu starts talking about the Will of D, Cobra asks him a question like, "Who the hell are you?" And then he's like, and then this translation definitely fucked it up because he says his name in third person in the other translations. He
Yeah.
says Mu something whatever,
Yeah.
and then Imu and then Cobra's like, "Wait, Imu? I've heard that name in the 20 Kings."
Yes.
And then Imu was like, "I'm not even gonna talk about that."
He's
But
like,
Yeah, so that he said he started to say it here. I just,
Yeah, but so the thing is, in this translation, it makes no sense. Why did he say, "I know the name Emu already"? Maybe it's because of what they said in the earlier chapter, where someone was like, "Oh, great Emu." Maybe that's a possibility. But in the early chapter, in the translation of TCB, he says Emu in third person or whatever. Basically, my point is that the first 20 Kings, he's saying Emu was part of that, and the way Emu speaks, saying stuff like "thou," he speaks in a very old way.
Yeah.
So I think this kind of basically 1000% confirms that the immortality surgery or the eternal youth surgery was performed on Emu.
yes,
Okay.
because that was set up too. So
Yeah.
and
Wait, so that brings me to a question about the devil fruit thing, then, right? So, like, does that mean that there could technically be multiple people that are immortal? Because
Yeah, why not?
once
absolutely.
one person
No, but-
dies from the law's fruit, that the person that performed the operation dies, and then
So
that
the
fruit gets
fruit
put
is
back into the
reborn.
world.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that means there could be multiple people that are immortal.
Absolutely, and some people think Dr. Kureha could be one of them. From
I
Drama.
thought the Gorosei are all immortal. So
They also could be, but I think another thing
I
that
don't
really,
feel like they are. I feel like having all 6 of them be immortal would just be a little much. But
yeah,
the way
no, I
that-
agree.
we have a reason to doubt that actually, because in the chapter when they talk about the gum fruit or the Nika fruit, one of them, the younger one with blonde hair, that's not white hair, he says, why would the world government 800 years ago cover up a fruit?
Yeah.
So he was asked questions
okay.
about
Yeah, he was
something
talking about
they-
them in past
So
tense,
he
right?
wasn't
as if they weren't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
But
that makes sense. That
Emu
makes
was
sense.
talking about the Will of D and Lily's blunder like they were there.
Like he just
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he wants to say like this bitch. Like he's like you know, like
You know.
All right. All right, let's keep it going. Yeah, no, maybe so.
No, I really had nothing to say.
I know that. Oh, it scared me a little bit. Like, yeah, I ain't want to cut you off. You feel me?
No, I appreciate it, bro.
What's the will of D? Some people are speculating that it was a group of pirates.
The
Well, no,
Willow.
we know it's not though, because there's the chapter, right? Nefertari D Lily. We know that kingdoms had the D in their name.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
there's like a little bit of a theory behind that too, because well, shoot, it will have to be later this chapter when we talk about
Yeah,
it.
let's get to let's get to that part of the chapter. We can
Yeah, let's
keep
zoom a
going.
little bit. Yeah.
So, yeah, Emo just talks about how was the mistake that Lily made actually a mistake or plan, and then at that moment, all the Gorosei just weaponize. They grab all this stuff out. Then Emo continues to say that answer to the question is probably in the letter that was sent to Alabasta. But he only Emu then says that he's only heard Cobra address Lily as Queen Lily of the Nefertiti dynasty. He then tells Cobra to tell them the proper name or their actual name. It's kind of confusing me a little bit when I was reading it. But it gets explained. Cobra realizes he's not leaving the room alive. He asks if he lies, would he be able to leave? Gorosei said, the minute you saw Emu, you're done. Oh my god. Page isn't going proper. Is this the next page? I feel like I'm missing a page.
The next page is when he says D Lily. So yeah, right.
Okay, this is it. Okay, yeah. So we see Sabo end up eavesdropping on the conversation. Cobra then says that the letter that was signed the Queen of Alabasta 800 years ago, the name was Nefertiti D Lily. Emu sees the D, pause, and then starts just immediately sends an arrow, shadow arrow, whatever, at Cobra. He gets slashed, but as he gets stabbed, we see Sabo come out the cut and hit all the Gorosei with the fire fist. The fire also ends up going towards Emu, but Emu blocks it, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it's like some huge black thing, and they even have the official has like a chomp sound
chomp.
effect.
Okay, no, I see it here too. Chomp. Okay, so he turns to the shadow and bites the fire. Okay. But so the revelation of Lily being a D and of the D being in royalty as well.
Insanity.
Pretty heavy stuff.
So, was she the original D, and then since she didn't join the 20, she was the one out of the 20 who didn't, go to the Holy Land. Her name was then cursed forever, and the D was just passed down, or does it mean something else beyond just being?
Or were there already D's around and they were part of it or some shit?
I think there has to be the D's before that. Callie, why would you say that?
I think we really need to know what this mistake was that Emu spoke on. This grave mistake that oh no, wait, I'm bugging. He said that they said that was the poneglyphs, right?
Yeah, and then the letter they talk about it. So what I'll say is that we kind of know because of what Emu said that the D's are the people who once opposed us, and from what we can tell, that kind of has to be the ancient kingdom.
Yeah.
So I think it's got to be some clan thing or some alliance thing. I don't know, man, because it's not family.
Was it an infiltration? Was it as they were forming the world government, as they were the 20 countries were coming together? They didn't know D was in her name, and then it was like a covert agent. That's why she didn't join.
Maybe that's a very possible point. It's because we always ask, like, why would Alabasta be part of 20 Kings? But they also have a very important poneglyph. They know where Pluton is. They're part of the Will D. So yeah, like we really don't know, dog.
She was able. I mean, that would be staying power for defecting. Like, go ahead, come for my country. I have Pluton. Good luck.
Yeah. For me personally, I think that the D initial was like she either someone gave it to her or she had posted on herself. Because my thing is that she was a part of the YHuss said was a part of the original 20 that fought against the Ancient Kingdom. They won, but Lily, she never returned back to Alabasta, but she did send that letter. So my thing is that why would Emu, assuming that, let's say he was like in this hypothetical, the ringleader or just someone who was on the side of the whole 20 kingdoms uniting, why would he align himself with someone with the D initial off the gate, off rip, knowing what that means? And so because of that, I'm inclined to believe that, especially because of later on this chapter, that the name was either given to her or she imposed that upon herself. Like she decided to go against the 20 kingdoms later down the line, and it wasn't like initial.
That kind of illuminates it for me because I realized like it was a hidden secret. And, like for the most of the world, Emu for some reason knew, but she held the letter. The fact that they had the D in their name was a secret. They never. It wasn't common knowledge. Even like a lot of people, it's common knowledge. Monkey D Garp, Monkey D Dragon, Rocks D Zebek. But so Lily wasn't. So Maud, either if she took it or if it was given to her, either way it was a secret. So that's probably why they worked them anyway. That's a good point.
Yeah,
I think she did it. I think it was a little bit of a secret from her.
I think it had to be. Yeah.
I think with especially with what Emu been saying, right? Like, was this a mistake? Was it really a mistake, or was it all planned? That it gives me credence to believe that she was in on it, and like she used her power, even though having the D already, but kept that a secret to infiltrate them, and then
and the letter kind of like proves that it wasn't a mistake. So.
Yeah, and that's why if she had it before, then she
exactly.
But
she would have to have. Right?
Yeah, but also, what would make Emu think that the name that Cobra read off was not correct? Like almost like he knew that her name was never correct in the first place, or something like that. Like it made it seem like he's supposed to know, like there may be another name that she went by.
Or she probably went by just right, Nefertari Lily, right? But that moment before she died is when she said my real name, and then like she like already wrote it to my country, and then next thing you know, that's why he has an idea that she wrote it.
I agree, Mister. I think that has to be, because even he was like the Will of D. What's the name on the letter then? So like Emu, for some strange reason, we don't know why. Let's say if the real people didn't know, most people didn't know, but for some reason Emu knew that she was a D, but maybe he didn't know that before they worked together to defeat the Ancient Kingdom.
And also just to clarify his suspicion too, like what is she really right? Like like because I already know, but just to like reaffirm that suspicion. I thought the paneling of when Emu was talking and the Gorosei all getting ready to fucking cap Cobra was ridiculous, yo. Like,
by the way,
that panel was sick.
By the way, I don't think that's a arrow. I believe that might be a tail.
I see where you're going, pal.
I think he's a dragon. I think he's a dragon.
Yeah, I think
he could be
a dragon. I think Maud, you're probably aiming towards people to think that he has some sort of devil ability, right? Because in the depiction of this tail is like devilish. If it is a devil's tail.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking, like somewhere towards like a solid demon drawing.
My only thing is that I think let me just go to the next page. In the next page, we see the shadows of the Gorosei in there and Emu in there. What everyone is assuming Zoan forms.
Could be. There's some theories on that. Do y'all want to talk about that now, or do y'all want to continue?
I got like 4 minutes. Yeah, let's just finish the scene.
Let's finish the
at least with Sabo.
All right.
Okay, so Sabo, all the Gorosei survive or are barely affected by Sabo's attack. We see a transponder snail activate and click and take photos, which we know becomes the newspaper photo of Sabo killing, quote unquote, killing Cobra.
Yep.
We get a little bit of an exchange between Cobra and Sabo about Luffy, which is pretty cool. And then Sabo grabs Cobra and proceeds to try to escape. Cobra finds out that he realizes something and tells Sabo that he needs to stay alive to give a message to Luffy and Vivi. He wants them to know that the Nefertiti family also bear the letter D. We get a quick flashback with Sabo about the letter D from when they were all kids. Luffy jokingly tries to give Sabo a D in his name as well. You see another arrow or tail, depending on what you think. Here's Sabo and Cobra again. Cobra jumps off of Sabo and starts to talk, but we get part of what he says blocked off by the growling sounds of one of the people attacking.
That's true. Fuck.
Very annoying.
Yeah, so he says the poneglyphs, and then we get a little bit of it blocked off, and then we get bear the flag of dawn against world. So
That's true. Because that should definitely. I think this is protected on that one part, on the bottom part. But
yeah, that's what a lot of people are assuming. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's just to throw people off. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I could see it being something different.
okay.
But this is what Cobra is trying to say, that he wants Sabo the message to deliver to Luffy and Vivi from Nefertiti Lily. He tells Sabo he's counting on him, and then we get King Cobra actually getting killed.
No.
RP a legend, man.
Can I point out one thing on that previous page? Because
Please, yeah.
the will of D is always said to be like, you know, the natural government, a natural enemy of the world government and the Celestial Dragons, right?
Yeah.
And Luffy is jokingly bestowing Sabo the letter D.
Oh man.
But then where does Sabo literally end up eventually? Standing in front of Emu. I think that's why that panel's in there. I think that's why the flashback's in there. Even though Luffy was just joking about giving him the will of D, he literally ended up exactly where he needed to be to oppose the world government.
Yep.
Yo, you're the go for that, bro. That is.
Ooh,
I didn't even think
Yo,
about that.
and it goes in
And
with with his power because of imagination, right? Like he's like I don't know. Luffy's definitely like the center of everything, right? Because he's definitely like the sun god. So he's like, oh fuck, damn, it's crazy.
And he got and in that scene, he also has Aces. So Ace ended up there too. If Ace didn't have to play and die, Sabo wouldn't have been strong enough to even entertain saving anybody.
Yeah.
Like it all ended up there because of them being family and friends.
Exactly.
Bro.
And that's actually what I was going to talk about too, where like Sabo received a name. Also, if you look at what that name is, it's like some people said the translation is like, so that could be like sad boy or sad bowl or sad bowl, something like that. So,
boy, enjoy boy. Oh,
yeah. So
I ain't gonna lie, I'll be a hater, bro. I think that's a reach.
I'll
be a
It's
hater. That's fine, bro.
It's either the greatest thing ever or it's the biggest reach of all
Yeah,
time.
because that's crazy. What are y'all like? What, bro? Dad,
But-
bro? Oh man.
But either way, this shows like from this flashback, because we never seen this before, right?
Yeah.
And so this might be an insight to how people get the D initial,
Exactly.
right?
It might
Some
have
people-
nothing to do with like anything except just being passed down. That's it.
Yeah, and there could be like an original ancient kingdom clansman that had the D initial, right? But because they pass down the D initial to other people, or they allow other people to have it, or whatever the case may be, they naturally can oppose the celestial dragons and the ancient I mean, not the ancient kingdom, but the world government to some degree. And like you brought up earlier, Frank, Sabo is now here, like at this point of his life, opposing the world government in such a way, direct way, and mind you, like joining chief of staff of the Revolutionary Army. Come on now, like it's.
I mean, arguably, we don't know, but like, you know, Roger, Whitebeard, Luffy, none of them know Emu exists, but now here Sabo stands like, yeah, oh god, this is all, there's something wrong here, and who is this guy? Like, he's there, he's in it.
Yeah, and this is like giving him all the fuel needed to be the Flame Emperor, because right after Wano they're like, yo, this guy Sabo is gonna be the big face to look out for now, and it's like, okay, this kind of came out of nowhere, but we'll see where it goes, and we see why, and him attacking the Gorosei, like this guy was about to kill all of them, like if they didn't have the powers.
That's
like he
another
wanted to, bro. Like it's such a big moment. So I talked about it in the chapter before when Sabo was telling Dragon and Ivankov that like he feels bad for Cobra, but he's happy that it went this way and that the world thinks he killed Cobra because it will fan the flames of revolution. So I think Sabo's character arc and who he is as a character, it's all getting way more focused, and this is so good for One Piece in general. And just him attacking the Gorosei, just no questions asked. I'm about to kill these niggas. That was the realest shit I've seen in a while. And before I have to bounce sadly, but before I go, I'll just say what I got spoiled on. And as a longtime reader, it broke my heart. Was Nefertari D Lily? I got spoiled for me right before the chapter, bro. That's so heartbreaking, bro. Vivi's the part of the Will of D, bro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But I'm not sad. No, we had to talk about. I had to talk about it at least, and you guys are gonna continue talking about it. It was a fun chapter. So you guys go hard. Frank, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna have to bounce, but please, guys, have a great talk, and I'll see y'all later.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, brother.
Take it easy.
Yeah, take care, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Black out his camera.
Ooh, you gonna put a picture?
Sick.
I gotta find one. Let's just keep going with the chapter for now. Was there anything else you guys wanted to bring up before I move on from
Yeah. So one thing that is kind of interesting is, you know how Imu said that he can't help but wonder. They can't help but wonder if this was all planned or not, right?
Yeah.
So something that people were talking about that I heard through the grapevine is maybe this has something to do with Toki as to why this was planned, because remember Toki was originally from the Void Century, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And then she time traveled to Odin's time period that she needed to get to Wano too. And on top of that, she's the one that also talked about the prophecy of 20 years from that point, pirates, there will be someone to come over to, raise the dawn and all that other good stuff. So maybe Toki was in cahoots with Lily.
And she sent her forward to make sure things lined up when they needed.
Yeah, exactly. Because she skipped time several times. It wasn't just to from the Void Century to that point. It was several. Yeah.
Did she? Have you guys seen? It's related to a little bit of the Will of D and just the timing of things. But the reason Gold Roger was born, fought, and died so suddenly, like he got sick, like the strongest pirate king in the world just got sick and died. I remember I just saw something recently. It was because of Zebek. He needed to, the world had a correct balance, so a temporary Joy Boy was born, but too early, basically. Because when he got to Laugh-Town, he basically said, "Oh, I'm too early."
I'm too early.
I'm too early. We don't know too early for what, but that. Oh, it's not me. I'm not Joy Boy. I'm not that guy. But basically, he was born to correct the balance of Zebek being such a massive threat to the world that once Zebek was defeated, he got sick. Like the correction rebalanced itself.
Would be him getting sick, and then
and that allowed Luffy to take up the mantle and to make it in the appropriate time, because Rogers would have been around for 20 more years. Now you have somebody too strong ruling the whole land, where everything wouldn't be able to play out the way it needed to get to Joy Boy's resurrection.
Okay. Yeah. It's giving me some Star Wars vibes, right? So in Star Wars, there's always got to be a balance between the light side and the dark side. It
wouldn't be that weird. And the fact that now that Vivi is a D theoretically, the fact that Luffy gravitated towards her, or she gravitated towards Luffy and his crew, and they ended up in Alabasta, and just them bumping into each other like that in such a weird, profound way that led to something so important happening. Is that Luffy just being Luffy, or was that the Will of D, which we still do not have any concept of what it does? But the fact that jokingly bestowing the Will of D on the Sabo, and he tries to just murder the 5 elders without a hesitation to save another king. I mean, it's incredible, the connections right now going on.
Yeah.
But I
that's
appreciate
true.
that because I like to imagine if Ace or Luffy were also there in that same
They would have done the
situation,
same thing.
would have done the
Yeah.
same
They
damn
would
thing.
have done the same thing.
Like,
That
One
would
Piece
be
instantly.
crazy.
like no hesitation.
That's true. And real quick, going back to looking at these panels, right? When we see like the tail, it does that. It has to be a tail because that thing has a shadow also, so it's not really a shadow. You know what I mean? It's not.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right.
Shadow like I thought it
not
was
like,
initially.
It's not like
Yeah.
Gecko Warrior's shadow.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
true. It's pretty true. Damn,
At
so
first,
many
I thought
questions,
when
bro.
I first saw that, I thought that was a Gecko Moria ability. You know what that reminded? If you ever watch Naruto and
Yeah.
Shikamaru's,
Shikamaru.
yeah,
Yeah.
that Shinjutsu, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it reminded me of at first. The sound effect even played in my head when I saw that. The funeral, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, but
I know exactly what effect too.
yeah, but I think that the Gorosei. The thing is, at first I thought maybe these are Zoan devil fruits, right? But why is Oda hiding what they are then, right? So
Yeah.
if they can't be, these can't be regular Zoan fruit, devil fruits. Hell, I don't even know if I believe that they're mythical Zoans.
It might be something else, like
Yeah,
some devil
it
type
could
of
be
shit,
something.
bro.
The panel before this, or the one where it shows all their silhouettes. Is it the
Oh,
page after or the one before? Where he's climbing down?
Before. It was before Sabo got stabbed.
That one.
Yeah.
So a lot of people I saw, they were like, "Oh, the one crawling down the throne in the back right, that's Emu."
Yeah.
But it's
That's what I
not,
thought.
because if you look in the next panel, you can
There's
see
6.
Emu's big
You're
eye.
right. You're right.
The weird salamander thing, that's not Emu. The thing in the back is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
So
So
this thing up top with the hands is not emu. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't think that's Emu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair because
those are the 5 elders. You're saying those are the 5 elders, right?
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
the next panel we get the 5 elders,
and then
and
the
then
two
we get
eyes
Emu
up
in the
top is
back.
emu. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's emphasizing that he's in charge. He is the
Yeah.
one controlling these
Pulling
devil,
these strings,
slug,
yep.
monster, bird things.
Creatures of the night.
Yeah.
Some people theorize that maybe Emu is also just like Luffy, right? With the Nika fruit, how like because apparently Oda in the SBS talked about Gear 5th and how hard it was to not animate but to draw and to put into this, even though he's always wanted to do it. And that's because like even though you've seen like Tom and Jerry and other Warner Brothers related cartoons go back and forth with each other, the thing is they're all loony, so it makes it way more easier to do stuff like that than to put one person who's loony versus a very serious cast of characters, right? And
Yeah.
to
Not
and
that
to
I'm
take
saying
people
it
out of
would-
immersion.
Not that I'm hopeful that it would ever last that long, but maybe the live. What happens when the live action One Piece gets to this point?
Yo, you
Oh,
are. That is
jeez.
crazy.
That's a very
I
good
imagine,
pull.
I imagine y'all ever seen The Mask or like some of the
Yes,
Mask? It was just
yeah.
it was stuff like that.
literally, yeah. Literally, that's what I was thinking in
Oh,
my
shut
head.
up now. No, you're right. That would actually kind of.
That'd actually be pretty fire.
Yeah.
I'd deal with that. You could have a real serious fighter live action, like some John Wick style action, and then you throw someone like the Mask in there. You're like, no,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty funny.
That would be
Yeah.
sick. Yeah.
But if Emu is something like Luffy with the Nika fruit, then that gives Oda like a lot more freedom to work with doing that loony style
And
battle.
have fun with it. Yeah. That's what Oda
Yeah.
wants to do. He likes doing that shit.
Yeah. Plus Emu's I guess a god. Luffy is a god as well, but Luffy is like the devil. But it also reminds me of like Persona. If anyone's ever played that, where Persona 5, where the bad guy is technically the good guy, quote unquote, for the standards of the world, and the good guy is the bad guy for the standards of the world, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've already seen that throughout One Piece, right? Because the Straw Hat crew, even though they're pirates, they've been the good
Yeah.
guys.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, we've had multiple
and then you
instances
have
with
the elected good guys who are the world government, who are
being
very clearly the bad guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
Luffy doesn't care about being a hero. He cares about being free and doing what's right.
exactly.
Yeah, but in this sense of light and darkness is what I mean. Like, Luffy, like they're the devil. They're the quote unquote devil. The D is like the devil and whatnot. and the god is like, the one who bestows order or whatever.
The sun god has to live in the shadow of being a pirate, where the devil is hiding behind the world government.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. That's a good one. That's good. Let's continue with the let's finish the chapter up.
Wobble. What a
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cobra gets smoked. R.I.P. Bozo. And then through a very, very, very tiny hole in the wall, we see an eyeball who has witnessed the entire thing go down. And on the other side of the wall, we find out it's actually Wapo.
Motherfucker, bro. Making him
do we know he saw him?
It's implied. I don't think there's any reason to believe.
Gorosei. It's not Emu. Gorosei seen him.
The Gorosei say, who's there? And they notice that there's a hole. And then Warpole, you see him run all the way back.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yo, fucking, this dude got whacked. Like,
yeah, so we know that they noticed somebody there. We don't know exactly
who.
Yeah.
If he saw them, if he saw him necessarily or not, because we know he just books it immediately after this panel.
Yeah, because I think the initial translation or the early one, it was I had seen that it was Emu who had like seen him, but like dude could have just dipped out and ran, but he ate through the wall, so it's like, oh, we know who that was.
Yeah,
yeah.
Bro was not thinking.
I'm saying
he's the weakest little. I mean, yeah. If anybody could have seen them, it had to be the weakest dude at the Reverie.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, to get some importance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he sees the events. He dips out. He says, "My life is over." We then move over to the round table where the Reverie is still continuing. We find out that King Cobra and King Wapo are not going to be joining them. One of them jokes about Cobra's speech yesterday being all he needed to say. We then get a little bit more of the conversation where they talk about independence of the 4-nation alliance in the North Blue. I don't know if this is something that was just meant to be looked over or not. I don't know if this was referenced before either. I don't know if any of you guys know about the independence of the 4-nation alliance in the North Blue.
I feel like YHuss would know.
Yeah.
The 4 nations. North Blue. That could have something to do with maybe Germa, potentially.
They're part
done,
aren't they? They left the North Blue. That was the whole thing, right?
They did, but didn't they do a lot of conquering over there too?
Yeah.
Like, wasn't there originally? So maybe it could have something to do with that. And we've seen Germa come back in prevalence, especially ever since Whole Cake, we learned a lot about the North Blue, Germa, and all that other stuff. Yeah. So, with that being said, not only that, but Sanji's brothers, siblings all together escaped, and Judge is forming a new mad science with Caesar. So there could be something there involving that.
Okay. I just wanted to bring it up because I feel like it wasn't just put there for no reason, even though it was like a little bit of a side point. But
my brain kind of just processed it as like filler on the page.
Okay, no, that's fair because it is, to be honest. Like, it's a little side note just to let us know that the Reverie is still going on.
Because it's something that could show up later on.
That's the only reason why I brought it up, because you never know.
Yeah. That's a good call. Good call.
We then move to the Fishman princes, talking to Shirahoshi, telling them they can go back to the port and wait to get off the island after everything that's went on. Shirahoshi says she wishes that she could have said goodbye to Vivi, and Vivi has just disappeared. We then cut to Vivi, who has gotten tied up by Cypher Zero.
Yep.
We see Jabra and Khalifa, who we actually saw a glimpse of them along with the rest of the Cypher Zero agents a few chapters ago, or a chapter 2 ago. We get to see them in a little bit more of a light. They're talking to Vivi, interacting a little bit more. So it's a nice little callback to see them again.
That one, Jabra, that's the one that turns into a wolf, right?
Wolf, yeah, that's the wolf.
Okay. All right.
And Khalifa is Soap Girl.
Oh, word. Okay.
So they've captured Vivi. They're gonna say she's gonna go down as missing, and they're gonna try. I'm presuming sell her as a pet.
Yeah.
BV not even really worried about the situation. Is more so making sure Shirahoshi is safe. Physio tells him that she's fine, and that the guys that ended up punching the Celestial Dragon were followers of Strawhat Luffy, named themselves Loud and Proud. It's weird the unofficial made this a little bit clearer, and that the unofficial. Okay, so this translation actually might be a big deal, because then the unofficial, they say that they proclaim themselves proudly as members of the Straw Hat Fleet, right? So in the unofficial, when they said that, the first thing I thought of was, wait, is this the incident that was hinted at Dressrosa, where the Straw Hat Fleet is going to be a part of a huge incident later down the line? Because in the unofficial, they name drop Straw Hat Fleet, but here it's a little bit more ambiguous. It says we're followers of Straw Hat Luffy, name themselves Loud and Proud. I think it could still be.
It could still be.
I mean, I think you can still interpret that as them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more or less the same.
Okay.
Personally.
That's fair.
Yeah. But either way, right? That still means
It could still be that they started the incident, like you said. It's still possible, because the fact that a Celestial Dragon got wrecked, is the big thing.
And at the Reverie, no less. Like
Facts.
It's huge.
And a
news.
Mary Wa.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it. But it'd be interesting to see if it wasn't the case and there was another incident, because the Straw Hat Fleet is all over the fucking place. We also get word about, back on the actual Holy Land, Fujitora was helping the Revolutionary Army free slaves, which made Ryugoku snap and turn on him, and they clashed for a little bit.
Yep.
This has been brought up a lot over the weekend by the community, because a lot of people thought that it was Sabo taking on two admirals at once. Yeah. But it ended up just being the admirals fighting each other. A lot of people.
Damn, I didn't even put that together, bro.
Yeah, because this is what people, because back in a few chapters ago, I forgot exactly how it was hinted at.
It was speculated. It was hinted at in the papers and the articles that were like, oh, Sabo, the Revolutionary Army broke in,
right,
and Sabo killed King Cobra, and just the implication that the Revolutionary Army was able to break in to the Holy Land, free slaves, avoid, not fight and kill, but avoid two admirals.
Yeah,
it was embarrassing because
and get away scot-free, all of them, like
exactly.
Really, and get Kuma.
Yep, and Magma Boy isn't going to reveal that, like, no one's going to put in the paper that, oh, no, Sabo didn't fight them, they were fighting each other.
Right.
Like,
yep, it's true.
They accept that they look foolish now.
Yep, 100%.
I can't wait for Fujitora to turn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fujitora does not want to be here, man. He does not want to be here.
Kainu, like, into the ground.
Drop a meteor on him real quick.
Not that it would do anything, but it'd be satisfying to watch.
And what's crazy though is that like before all this happened, like during Reverie, we see Fujitora and Ryugoku together, right? Sitting, eating, and like just chatting and whatever. And you think they're cool, but these two men, even though they're both admirals, they're two completely different people and like what they stand for. Because we know Ryugoku is a big Akainu stan, like. Terrible person, and then
but you know what?
Fujitora,
like, I don't even think Akainu is a bad dude. I don't think he's as.
No, Ryugoku is. I think he's worse.
Yeah,
I think he's like the bad boy that takes it to the next level.
I think it's just absolute justice. You know what it is. So it's not morally bad necessarily, but
if Akainu knew what was going on. Really knew, I think he'd be against it, but he's doing the best he can in the position he's in.
Yeah.
Which I think, everybody wants to hate him for killing Ace and doing all this. But he's a cop. I mean, he's a Marine. He's doing what he thinks is his job. He's not,
Ooh. Stan Proud in the chat had a perfect analogy. Green Bull is the Hody Jones to Akainu's Arlong, which is true.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's perfect.
Wait, say that one more time.
Yeah.
Green Bull, Ryugoku is the Hody Jones to Akainu's Arlong.
That's interesting.
I like it.
Steps. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, I like that.
But they take it to that extreme, though. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
Arlong
I agree.
Arlong played the long game where Hody wanted just
Just do it immediately and
Yeah.
get it done. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Facts.
I actually like that. Yeah, that's a fair analogy.
They can stand proud.
Going back to finish the chapter.
Yeah.
Jabra just talking about how crazy the reverie has been, which has been absolutely insane. Vivi says she needs a distraction, and then extremely conveniently, who comes busting through the door but Wapol, munching his way through the wall. Everybody's shocked, falls back as Wapol's running through these walls, munching his way. Vivi sees this as her chance to escape. Like the Cypher agents just see it's Wapol and then realize afterwards that Vivi's gone. We then get Wapol running into, I'm not sure who this lady is.
His
girl.
His girl. Okay, I have we met her? Have we seen her before?
Yeah, she's the queen of Dark Drum Island or something. It was a quick panel. She's only around when they first introduced the new Drum Island.
Was it in the cover story?
Maybe. I think it was when like when we see him again, like during when they introduce him to Reverie, you just see that he got.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not bugging. She wasn't like important, like she was during Drum Island or something, like the arc, and I missed it.
She was definitely after when he set up his new country.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so he runs into his wife. She's confused. This is pretty funny sequence. She's asking who's this young woman. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm going to the ends of the earth where no one can follow me. Vivi's like, take me with you, and she's like, you guys are eloping.
It was funny.
The chapter like that is pretty funny. But
and
yeah,
no break.
The chapter, no break next week.
No break.
This is one of the last reveals that I think, one of the last loose ends, I think, from the entire Reverie that got tied up, which was how Wapol and Vivi ended up together, much less on the ship with Big News Morgan. We still don't know exactly how they end up with Morgan, but we can deduct, they were running and ran into him, and they just took him for the scoop or whatever,
Yeah. He was like, I got the best news, and then,
But I think this is one of the last loose ends that we needed to be filled from the Reverie. We got a lot of info this chapter on the occurrences that happened during the Reverie and whatnot. Any thoughts? Anything else you guys wanted to speak on about it?
I love that we got all this information, because for so long, right, we were talking about Reverie, we knew the outcome or some outcomes, and we were all always just asking, what the fuck happened?
Bro, we've been talking about this shit since it feels like it's been years now. It's been years.
It really has.
Like we've been waiting to see what's going on, because we were stuck in Wano for such a long period of time.
Yep.
Well,
and it's such an isolated country
point,
too,
though, right? It was Wano being cut off.
Yeah,
and all the stuff is happening on the outside that we just aren't privy to, because
it cut the readers off, which is fucking awesome. Like Oda really kept us there.
Yep.
Well, meanwhile, all this shit was happening, bro.
Yeah.
Buggy and Mihawk, and I wonder.
We don't even know the shit that fucking Crocodile's been doing, because Mod always brings it up, and and he has a point. Crocodile's been doing things to get that bounty so high again, right? So it's not just simply just getting out of prison. It's other shit too.
They've all been moving.
They've all been doing shit, bro. So I'm just like,
I bet the world government's regretting having abolished the warlord system, because that meant they moved on Mihawk, which meant he gave power to Buggy, and now there's bounties on Marines, and
Yep, it's a whole domino effect that they just.
Marines can't even trust civilians now.
Wait, quick question. Cobra was the one that brought up the whole warlord thing, right?
Cobra was the one that brought up the warlord, abolishing the warlord system.
Right, abolishing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the fact that Cobra is part of D, right? He's part of the D clan. That was all part of the fucking will of D, to take apart, to cause them abolishing the warlords, making Mihawk others enemies of the government, is a domino. That's
it's just
Jesus Christ.
A long line of people in the will of D who have just fucked shit up.
Bro, that's crazy, dude.
Personally, I don't know about that in particular because there's other people that was trying to do the same thing like Fujitora and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was just the warlord system was just shitty.
I think
It was-
Fujitoro had done more for it. I think whenever we do get Fujitoro, if we ever get more info on Fujitoro besides what's been given, like I think he joined after the time skip, right? He was just somebody they found and recruited because he was strong. And I think he had some vendetta against the warlords. Like I think that was one of his whole plans to go after the government.
Yeah, that's true.
That man's
You
just
saying like before he was even introduced?
yeah. Like I think something happened with him, and he's wanted to overthrow or do some damage to the world government the whole time. But he got strong because him and Greenbowl, weren't they just recruited like during the time skip? They were the new admirals, right? Once everything was restructured. I don't think Fujitoro was in the Marines before he got recruited. I think they just recruited him as this dumb strong guy.
Because he was part of the draft. So they said
that in Dressrosa.
Yeah. He wasn't some like honorable, long-running, worked from the bottom up Marine. Dude was that strong. And clearly doesn't like the warlord system, you know?
Yeah, dude, wasn't he like the community pick or some shit like that? Like, because I knew it was the whole draft, but like he wasn't picked by the government. He was like chosen by people, like, something like that. I could be wrong though.
He was chosen. So the draft. Yeah. So the draft was originally supposed to, like a quickie type thing, and I think it was the first draft in history of the Marines, where they basically went outside of the in-house
which is crazy too. The fact that they named two people that were not in the fucking military at all to be fucking admirals, like that's pretty insane.
There were some strong people. But like only broken, like all the admirals have broken devil fruit powers. Like it's not a skill thing, and they are skilled. Fujitoro is very skilled, but the fact that you have gravity, magma, lightning, ice, foliage, like they're all
but it's also, I'm pretty sure that the thing that it's hard to tell when they got their devil fruits, like whether the government, because I heard some people say that they just get the devil fruits after they get their ranks or whatever.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. But I know one thing for sure.
They would hang on. They'd want to hang on to. Well, that also makes. I mean, the government was clearly hunting devil fruits. I mean, were they? I doubt they were only hunting the gum fruit. As important as it was, and they've always been trying to capture it. I'm sure they were keeping tabs on other devil fruits and hoard the strong ones. And I'm sure, Vegapunk and Caesar appreciated that too. Being able to have access to and clone devil fruits.
Yeah. But I think one thing for sure that they test all their vice admirals and admirals on, and that's hockey. Something that they can universally measure, like how strong their peoples are.
Well, most of the vice admirals have devil fruit, so it's not like you would get an OP devil fruit when you became an actual admiral, because you would need to probably already have had a devil fruit to even be a vice admiral, or at least stand a chance, right?
Yeah. Possibly. It's just we don't know how they distribute, how devil fruits are even like
distributed through the world government.
Through the world government, or like what's the protocol? Because if someone finds a devil fruit, is it just finders keepers at that point, or do they have to turn it in? Do they issue it out based off of like that type of thing? Yeah. But I do think that at the very least, hockey is something that they can measure throughout everybody, because not everybody has the same hockey levels. And so those with the best hockey levels rise up to admiral tier or whatnot.
The only person we've ever seen get in any good hits against an admiral was Whitebeard, right?
Yeah.
I could think of Yeah.
Because Shanks scared Greenbowl away from
That's true.
And Rayleigh scratched Kizaru.
That's true.
He made him bleed on his cheek or whatever, and I think he kicked him or something like that. too.
I
Like he
remember-
flashed at it or something.
I always I wasn't around for like a lot of the theories, like Reddit theories and stuff. But I remember reading an old Reddit article when people thought like we didn't know what hockey was. Like how did Rayleigh kick Kizaru? Oh, he must have it was like he has sea prism stone sandals or something. Like, no, that's the only way he could have hit a Logia user or something. Like, no, or maybe even Oda didn't know at the time. Who knows?
Yeah.
Dude, so
Those were good times.
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
So much.
Yeah, I think that's more or less it, right? Was there anything else about the Reverie? Any final thoughts about the Reverie? Anything else you guys wanted to bring up about the chapter? Any revelations?
Yeah, one big revelation that we finally, for the first time, can confirm that the Gorosei are most likely fighters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's the speculation for a while, right? If the Gorosei were just figureheads or whatever, if they were actually scrapping.
What do you guys think they are? Like I know we said Zoan.
I think a lot of speculation is Zoan. I think Mod, you said there was another theory about their abilities that you might have had.
Yeah, so remember how a long time ago, Vegapunk already disclosed that basically devil fruits are basically dreams incarnate come to life, right? What if potentially the reason why Oda isn't showing them is because they're not using devil fruits, but they're using some type of source to draw their power, but opposite of dreams is like nightmares. What if these are nightmare versions of what devil fruits are?
So they be angel fruits.
Yeah, like something like that, right? Because it'll be an interesting thematic spectrum, right? The devil, the devil is not liked by Mother Nature. That's why those with devil fruits can't swim, right?
Yeah.
But what if angel fruits, quote unquote, or whatever it is loved by everything, but at the same time they're not drawing off of dreams. Because dreams is like a shortcut, quote unquote. That's why Mother Nature don't like them. And through this method, some type of like otherworldly source to be able to draw their power from, and that's why Oda has them in silhouette. That will be very interesting in my opinion. But what do y'all think?
That's interesting.
Maybe
I like that theory.
I know there's 5 of them, but I don't know. Could he be doing something with like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? I don't know. One kind of looks like a Grim Reaper, the other one looks like a lazy sludge monster thing. I don't know.
If you go back in the chapter, he was saying something about a rook, like right when he goes to attack someone.
Going back?
Yeah. Rook check. Yeah.
Oh, that was
something about
that.
That's the name of his move, isn't it?
That was Sabo's move. Fire fist.
Okay,
Rook
never
check.
mind.
Yeah.
Rook check, fire fist, rook check.
That's what he shot at Emu.
So, part of me, because like I remember when in Alabasta, right? I thought Pell was like part of like the had the mythical like power of Ra, like the god Ra. It was like a bird, but that was not the case. So I was wondering if that might be one of the Gorosei, and then like the other Gorosei are just other like
I can see
other gods, like animals that are also related to gods as well, and then like and Luffy was part of that, or something like the sun god was part of that, but then.
Yo, I got to turn my phone camera off. My phone's about to die.
Oh no, you good, bro. But just an idea. I can't think of other like animals that would be related to some gods though. But I don't know. Just an idea that came up to my head.
There's some. I mean,
That's not that gonna be sick.
he's giving us just enough to speculate, but like,
Yeah, he's just
whatever they end up being, it's just you're gonna be like, that's cool, that makes sense. Let's keep going.
Yeah, no, it's definitely gonna be sick whenever we figure out whatever they are. It'd be interesting if they were actually just like dark shadow figures. I can't lie.
There could be
like how they are now.
Yeah.
Some monsters that they aren't affected by sea prism or water, like they're just something else. Like everyone's expecting them to be, but like weird or crazy devil fruits at this point in the manga, they don't need to be as shrouded in mystery. Like we literally just got Sun God Mika. Like
Yeah.
like,
You know what? I actually really like that. That's a really good point, right? Because this has been an ongoing manga for such a long time. We've seen so much stuff.
We have Kaido's insane devil fruit that was also cloned and copied into Momo, and then you have god fruits, and like who cares if they're using devil fruits? I don't think that's why these are hidden. I think yeah, you're right. I don't think these are devil fruits. I think this is something else, something older.
They could be like like you're saying, like some angel fruits type of shit, but they look more devilish. You know what I mean? Like
it's like a different type of power. Like it's a different type of power. Yeah.
Or what if this is their real form?
So like
human
fruit type thing, but like with
reverse. Okay.
Reversed, yeah.
Okay.
What if Emu is able to mask what they really look like, and this is what they really look like?
Interesting.
That'd be sick. Honestly.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
You know what's funny? At first, I thought this was all Emu's ability, and I thought
people think that too. Yeah, it's Emu doing it. Which
I thought so.
His eyes in the background. I mean, why not? He's able to transform them and manipulate them, and
it could be like a counterpoint, like what Luffy does. Like he can manipulate himself, but Emu can manipulate the other things around him.
Some type of like all for one for all type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stan Proud brings up a good point in the chat. He thinks we'll see Saturn's form in Egghead at Egghead.
Oh yeah.
I definitely. I now think that because before no one knew if he was going to go there to fight. Now I'm definitely sure that we're going to get a reveal of what he is.
Yeah. Which one of these silhouettes? Do y'all know which one of these silhouettes might be Saturn?
I think it's supposed to be the one. Because who's
what order were they standing in? Saturn was all the way to the right.
Right.
So he's like the man.
He's all the way to the left.
Hold on, that's all the way at the left.
I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, my bad.
So yeah, if he's all the way to the left,
2 on the right, 3 on the left. Look at that.
He's that thing
like
with
the bull. It looks like a bull.
Yeah, like the
right?
bull. Yeah.
This big guy, right? He has to be the big guy with the bull horn with the horns.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So we'll definitely get a reveal of that. Also, I'm not, even though these guys may be quote unquote fighters, I don't know 100% like where to scale them still, because it's entirely possible that they could be just like another Orochi, because technically Orochi had a double fruit too, but we saw that obviously that didn't amount to anything.
To be fair, they definitely ate a full fire fist. Speak to the face.
Yeah, Emu did.
They did too. Is this not them?
He hit them too.
Yeah,
it is.
Right here is them all getting burnt up.
When you say 8, I'm thinking literal because
they all did.
Okay, no. Okay, no. I mean like they took the fire.
Yeah,
fist.
they tanked it.
Yeah, they tanked it. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, there's that, and on top of that, one of them injured Sabo, and clearly Sabo's a Logia, so they must have had some Anki infused with their tail or something like that. So I am believing that they are fighters. I just want to give that disclaimer that it's entirely possible that they may not be all that, but yeah.
So I just noticed, I see on the top left, I see the tail going through him, but I didn't notice that it's the same creature with the tail the whole time, and I don't think that's Emu attacking them. I think that's one of the Gorosei.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think someone pointed out that Emu wasn't the one that attacked Sabo with the tail, or not Sabo, but King Cobra. The first time, it was probably like another creature.
Yeah, from there, it's coming from the side. It's coming from the side of them. It's not coming from
Yeah, it's not coming from the up top.
Yeah.
Because how else would that tail? Because Emu's all the way up there.
Yeah.
How would that tail come from the side like that? That had to definitely. But then someone also asked, like, why do the Gorosei got Glocks in? Like, why are they pulling out Glocks if that's what they were going to do?
Definitely pulled out the
double triggers, bro. They were doing Persona 3.
Bro.
Right.
That is interesting. They definitely all possess weaponry just to ditch it and transform. So it'd be interesting to see if they have any skill with the things they use, or if it's just for showmanship.
Well, I mean, Sabo still carries around his pipe, even though he's made of fire.
Well, they didn't. Yeah, because they didn't turn until Sabo attacked. No.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly,
so because they were like, all right, we could just pop this dude, the Cobra, that's easy. But like, once Sabo came in and wrecked
Well, I
their
mean,
human forms,
they hit the tail while I'm assuming they were still human. It looks like, so I don't know if it's like a. You know what? I don't know if y'all want to count that as maybe evidence towards this not being one of the Gorosei, because they were all in human form in the panel we see above. And
when the tail hit, so that was definitely Emu that hit him.
Well, I don't know if I'd say definitely, but like
Well,
unless they have like half hybrid
yeah.
forms, or they're just, you know, protruding a tail out of their human form. I think it's a little uncertain to me.
I feel you. I know initially I thought Emu was the one that hit him, like reading it.
Yeah.
And then after Sabo hits them, that's when the rest of them changed.
This is weird. This is weird because when y'all were talking about it, I was 100% on board with it being one of the Gorosei, but just looking at the way the paneling is right now, I really can't tell. I'm not gonna lie, I can't tell.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that it may not even have been the Gorosei at all that touched them.
Yeah, it's definitely a little obscure.
Perplex, yeah, perplex.
You know, thank you, because I was trying to think of the word. I couldn't get it was on top.
I'm sure the anime, like when it does eventually get animated in like a year, it will definitely make more sense.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of the anime, is that a lot of these scenes that could be a little bit confusing in the manga become a lot clearer when they get animated. You get the sound effects and the direction of the motion and all that stuff.
I am kind of on the side of that. They're not fruit users. I think it's gonna be something else.
Yeah. Okay. I definitely like that theory too.
Also, why would they? If you could just get disgustingly strong with hockey, which we know you can between Mihawk and Roger, why would you cripple yourself with a weakness by eating a devil fruit? Massive weakness too, when most of the world's water. They're not that dumb.
Yeah, that could definitely be their train of thought. They so choose, because hockey is definitely the prevalent way of fighting. And
maybe.
Can you emit so much hockey that you can change your form? I mean, you can coat your body in hockey, and then now we know you can emit hockey into other things by punching and infusing it. What if you can make forms out of it too?
Out of hockey?
Bruh, that's the next tier that I'll be talking about, because, you know.
Good question.
That's you know, if that is true, then that recontextualizes everything about the quote unquote Shanks versus Mihawk argument. But
and Shanks clears? Shanks super clears?
Not super clears, but
the gap gets wider.
Do we know for a fact that Mihawk doesn't have a fruit?
Yes.
Yes.
Has he swam?
Has he swim? I don't think he's ever swum.
I don't think we've seen him swim.
I mean, I guess it's not confirmed. I mean, anybody could be hiding a fruit in that.
We know
technically, yeah.
When Shanks lost his arm, he didn't have a fruit. That was 2+ years ago. No, crap, that was 20 years ago, right? Or however long?
10 years.
So, like...
12 years, technically, by today's story. Before when Luffy started his journey, it was 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think Mihawk might have a fruit?
Maybe. I don't know.
Possibility?
Hell, like, keep one in your back pocket.
Just in case.
Yo, just in case.
If I know I have a flame fruit and I don't need it right now, it's like, put that right there.
Yo, that'd be crazy.
If you're the world's strongest sword fighter, you know, I guess you wouldn't even need it, right?
Yeah. Just in case. Just in case somebody... Just in case this green-haired guy with 3 swords actually catches up. I want to keep this right in my pocket real quick.
I ain't gonna lie, if he had a devil fruit, then he is gangster as hell for swimming the whole ocean in that little ass boat, bro.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
If you have a devil fruit in that little ass boat, bro, you just gangster. Because one little leak and it's GG's, bro.
Right.
That's crazy.
He's thug enough to do that. You're like...
Yeah, nah, if anybody would do it, it's definitely Mihawk. That's definitely fair.
Yeah. I mean, look at Ace. Ace would go around in his little flame boat thing.
That's true. He was like surfing and shit.
That's true.
He's
That's
made
true.
of fire. I mean, he can fly, but still.
I'm about to say he could fly, but nah, that would be insane. And
I mean, it's all about hockey now.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what their forms are. I can't wait to see what the implications are from that, and I can't wait to see what the Holy Knights are.
We still got to see what's going on with them.
Shanks' brother.
Oh my goodness.
That's the train we on, Frank.
All we know is Shanks was found in a treasure chest, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's clear. He's celestial something, but
yeah, I think one of us brought up that theory last episode, 2 episodes ago, if I'm not mistaken.
I was getting my wife caught up on stuff and just like talking about theories, and like she was kind of for that, and I'm like, well, honestly, you're not there yet, but if it turned out to be a clone of Shanks, that would surprise nobody. And she's like, what do you mean cloning? I'm like, you'll get there. Don't think too much about it. But like, yeah, if it was like, if he came from celestial dragon blood and it's anything like, Garp and Dragon and Luffy, clearly there's a strength to lineage, and if he came from a strong family, it's like, oh, let's clone. He's gonna be strong one day. Let's clone him. And that'd be, and it also lends to him randomly walking into the chamber and talking to the Gorosei. What if that really wasn't Shanks? Because I know there was the thing about his scar, but it sometimes messes up, like you were saying, he can mess up paneling sometimes. What if he didn't? What if that's clone or brother of Shanks and he is very strong? I mean, a twin twist that worked, I'd buy it. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen clones.
Yeah, we definitely have.
There's been no long lost family yet, right?
It's true. And then like you said, like the panel did look like Shanks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it was Shanks, or it was a brother or clone, a twin.
I can't lie, bro. And I ain't coming at you, Frank. I don't know what you think coming at you here. You feel me? But Oda introducing clones is one of the best and worst things he has ever done to the One Piece community, bro.
Because
it's mad sick, but I feel like I've heard clone theories for like 90% of the characters I've seen in the current story right now.
Dude, I would like a twin brother thing, like one not taken away.
I think we brought that up last episode, or the episode where it was showing, right? We brought up that it might be like a twin brother separated at one point, and one of them lived in the celestial dragon in the Holy Land. And God's Valley, they got split, right? Yeah.
What would that do? Because everybody's talking about, oh, Shanks might have ulterior motives. He was grooming Luffy and doing this because he's actually. I think that would. There's no way that would be like killing Chopper. Like, there's no way Oda would be like, oh yeah, the guy we've been building up this entire show is actually evil. It'd be too on the nose and too. I can't get behind Shanks being evil.
Too cliche. It'd be kind of cliche, right?
Yeah, it's like,
agreed.
Wow, he groomed Luffy. No, like, you gotta break Luffy's heart, and I don't know. You can't do it to the man twice. You already killed his brother in front of him.
That's true. That's true.
I do think. I'm sorry, Matt. I do think that. While I don't think that Shanks is inherently evil, he definitely has ulterior motives.
Yes, I can agree with that.
He definitely has some type of plot, or he has some type of plans going outside
some
of
schemes.
the things that
he
we
wasn't
see.
Interested in going for the One Piece until Luffy awakened his fruit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I think after I saw that Shanks takes like weaklings up under his wing, I'm like, it's hard to sell that he's somehow evil after seeing that, because it's just like,
and
he was
strong. He was strong and had plans when he met Luffy, but like, he wasn't who he is now. 12 years later, strong.
Yeah,
he couldn't have predicted that like Luffy would survive that entire time and awake. Or maybe he did. Maybe he knew the user of the fruit had to die in like combat, or like at the right time.
Had to like build it up or some type of shit.
Yeah.
That's why.
Because if the Gum fruit user didn't, died 100 years ago, it wouldn't awaken the fruit. But now, Neptune, the Saturn, everybody's born. It's the right time for the fruit to be awakened, because Roger was too early and all that.
That's true.
That's true. That's definitely true.
I was gonna ask y'all before we end the episode. Do y'all think, since there's no break, do y'all think next chapter we are continuing this, or we're going to Egghead or something else?
I think they have to conclude a little bit, because I think we still need everybody. We need to see everybody like.
Oh, because
officially,
Sabo's still
like-
talking, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we need
You're
to see
Yeah.
Sabo. We need to see Sabo get out. We need to see Vivi and Wapo meet up with Big News Morgan, and just general closing out of the Reverie and like the Revolutionary Army escaping. Just general
Yeah.
closeout stuff.
Yeah.
And the
I think we get
closure.
I think we get maybe one more chapter.
Yeah, because we still don't. We also
Chapter
don't
break,
know.
maybe.
We also don't know anything about what happened to Sai and the rest for hitting Charles, right? Like we don't. Like I know the admirals were distracted. They made that aware here, but they made it seem like them declaring that they are under Straw Hats or under the Straw Hats is like going to have some type of repercussions in the future or now in this flashback somehow.
Yeah.
No, but you
Like,
know what? But that's my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine.
Go
Go ahead.
Oh my god, not like this, bro. I was gonna say that's why I brought up that instead of it being a prelude to something for the future, that's what was the incident that was spoken about in the past from the Dressrosa arc. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they that panel was even brought up that they proudly declared that because that was incident that was preluded to way back when. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. I was just talking about like maybe we get a Holy Night introduction here,
Okay.
maybe, but yeah, that's about it.
That'd be
Okay.
interesting. That'd definitely be interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's about it, right? Any
Yes.
last questions, comments, concerns?
Frank, thank you for joining us, bro.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
Great talking with you. Just so everyone knows, Frank, to me, well, I see him as the god of 3D printing because all if you look at his background, everything he made that himself, yo. Like, that shit's OD, guys. Like that, he has all the
quick
tutorials
flex,
and
I
everything
see
on
you,
YouTube.
Frank. Yes, sir. That's sick. It definitely looks dope too. I gotta check out.
I
Some of the vids.
gotta ask: is 3D printing hard? Like, is it really hard to get to do that stuff?
Well, have I got a YouTube channel for you?
I know. I always heard about 3D printing like things, and
I don't think it's
people
hard.
always-
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it's hard, and I'm speaking objectively from also from a beginner standpoint. There's machines you can buy now that just work right out of box that are just on it. It's pretty fun.
That's sick. And Frank, if you want to go ahead and plug your socials and your YouTube, Twitter, anywhere people can find you and check out your stuff.
Frankly built across everything: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and I teach you how to 3D print stuff, and it's fun. It's a good time. I actually, since it's a One Piece stream, I actually just started printing Yoru, Mihawk's sword.
Sick.
7 feet. This thing is gonna. It's
Oh, that's fucking
Jesus Christ.
sick, yo.
can't wait.
Yeah, you
wait.
def gotta send us pictures or send us the video when you done. We def gotta see that. We gotta look at that during the podcast stream for sure.
The blade. I'm printing the blade in one piece. It's on a conveyor belt printer, so it's.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I'm excited for that thing. Ever since I saw him, just that the first arc or at when he introduced Mihawk, and it's just
Brody,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
I want
Alrighty.
that sword. That's so sick.
That's sick.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
You made some big one. Did you make Gut Sword before? Right?
Yeah, I have Dragon Slayer, the Buster Sword.
That's cool.
I have the Demon Slayer from a Black Clover, the Jawblade from I have a couple. I think the other longest one I might make one day is probably Sephiroth's sword, but it's
Oof.
That's
Gotta be
a challenge.
12 feet, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Masamune. I'd have to
That's tough.
figure
That's
that
tough.
out.
It's definitely sick. Definitely sick. We definitely appreciate you for hanging out with us today, Frank. You definitely gave us a lot of insight.
I'll come back anytime y'all want somebody to BS with.
Oh, of course, you're
absolutely,
more than
absolutely.
welcome, bro.
And we'll make sure to link everything that Frank said, all of his channels in the description on the YouTube video, so you guys can all make sure you guys check them out too.
Thank you.
For sure. We appreciate you. That's gonna do it for today's episode of Strawhat Sitdown. As always, you can find us on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at Strawhat Sitdown. You feel me? We actually just got the TikTok going. Shout out to Mr. G and YHuss. for
Yes.
holding it down because Callie Mack, the captain, was extremely lazy.
Oh, that's
So
okay.
they had to hold it down for me, and I will forever be appreciative of them for holding it down. So the TikTok is live. We got some videos up now. We're gonna have some more coming in the future. So make sure you guys follow that, as well as the YouTube and the Twitter at all Strawhat Sitdown. No break next week, so we will be back next Sunday.
I will not. I'm actually won't be. I'll be away.
Whoops, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be at my cousin's wedding in Honduras, my dad's home country. So
Congratulations to them.
Yes, thank you. So y'all have to do without me.
We'll manage
you guys
it.
got
We'll try our hardest, man. You just go ahead and get turned up out there, man.
Yes, I got you. Thank you, guys.
Alrighty. That's gonna be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, take it easy, be safe, be healthy, and we will see you guys when we see ya. Peace, guys. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you.
Adios.